Okay, folks, so we were getting some more high winds today, and I was also hearing what sounded like the rocket engine sound coming on and off again. I've heard it before, I've documented it before. This will be the third time now that I have recorded the windstorms that come through here and analyzed the audio file, and I'm seeing the same exact pattern that I saw in the other two audio files. The videos are still up on my channel, where I documented previous windstorms that have rolled through southern Nevada here. And I've done the same thing where I've, separated the audio file here. And when you zoom in really close, you can see the audio file right here. And just listen to the audio file, but also watch this here, and you will see the pattern. I've seen this pattern and I've documented it already. This is the third time now. This is the third different windstorm that has come through here that I have recorded and done this with. Pay attention to that, to this bar right here, and you will see the pattern. And then listen closely to the audio, and you will hear it. You will hear what sounds like rocket engines turning on and off, an abrupt shut off, and then a restart, and then an abrupt shut off. It's consistent. It's a pattern, okay? Nature does not repeat itself like this. You see the pattern? Do you see the pattern there, folks? You see the little signatures of the audio file that repeat? And now this was a total of almost 2 hours of recording the wind sounds coming through the southern end of the valley here. And I had to kind of break it down into sections because I was reaching the limits on the upload capabilities into the Clipchamp. But this is just one section, part of a 10-minute section. But this same pattern, the same audio file, and the same pattern throughout the almost 2 hour long recording of this wind. So I'll upload this little explanation video as kind of like an intro, and then I'll upload this full audio. And now I do have it sped up. I want to fast forward through this to show you. You can see the pattern. There is a detectable pattern in the audio file. I've detected it in the other two audio files and recordings that I did. And in this one here, hang on, it's easier to zoom out. And then right here, I think this is 2 times. Let me double check that. No, this one. This file right here is 2 times sped up. So let me zoom in on that audio file, and you'll see the same pattern, but you'll hear the rocket sounds a little bit more clear when the audio is sped up. It's a little bit more detectable. There's the pattern. That is a consistent pattern, and nature does not repeat itself. Let me repeat myself and say, nature does not repeat itself like this. And now I did another sped up version here. I think this is 4 times. Let me zoom in on that audio. You see the pattern? Do you hear the rocket turning on and off? It's even more detectable when it's faster even yet. And I think this one here is 7 times, or yeah, 7 times. You see the pattern? That's not natural. This windstorm that came through today, and that's still kind of ongoing, is not natural. And just in case there are some out there that might think this is just a little bit far-fetched and far-reaching, I have to show you some additional information here on a screen recording about some of the blimps and some of the floating wind turbine projects that they have going. So you have this hybrid airship. This was from 2012. The Airlander 10 airship gets ready for flight. Um, and hot air balloons sound a little bit like that too when they are filling up the hot air balloons. They sound a little bit like that too, like a blast furnace type of a thing. And then you have stuff like this, the floating wind turbine. Um, yeah, this is the so-called inventor here of the floating wind turbine. And you can see they have this one tethered, but it would not surprise me one bit if they didn't have these like things put onto some of their big tanker aircrafts. And this was an interesting article that NASA successfully completes its globe-trotting Superbit balloon flight. And I think it's kind of interesting. It was launched from NASA's Long Duration Balloon Program launch site in New Zealand. And they have several of these balloon launch programs out here in California, too. But what's really even more interesting about this little story is that it's NASA's super pressure balloon mission was terminated due to an anomaly. Now, um, it's just interesting to me that they put out these little news stories like this talking about their own little successes and their own little failures and stuff. But the determination was made to safely terminate over the Pacific Ocean. NASA will investigate the cause of the anomaly. It began experiencing a leak, and teams attempted to troubleshoot it by dropping ballast to maintain the balloon's altitude. But it's an unfortunate end to the mission, and we will investigate the cause to help us continue to improve the superpressure balloon technology. Now, what do you suppose these balloons, when they deflate them or when they, bring them down, they have to vent that air out. So it wouldn't surprise me even if they didn't have something planned where they were going to be venting out or deflating one of their really large strato balloons right directly over the valley here as it's coming down and descending into California. So they put out a wind warning, of course, with NOAA and let NOAA know and let all the meteorologists and weather folks know that there's going to be some high winds today because we're depressurizing this balloon up here. I don't I don't put it past them to be pulling off any of this kind of stuff. And the fact that this is the third time now that I have documented one of these windstorms coming through here and have detected a pattern is questionable as far as I'm concerned because nature does not repeat itself like this. Okay, there is a pattern here, and nature does not repeat itself like this. And this pattern is consistent throughout this entire 2 hour, almost 2 hour long recording of the wind sounds here. Not natural. I don't care what anybody says. You can sit there and insult my intelligence and you can tell me that I'm a wackadoo, whatever. If being a wackadoo means detecting these patterns like this and questioning things that deserve to be questioned, then I guess I'm a wackadoo because I detect a pattern here. There is a most definite pattern in these sounds that we were being, you know, in this windstorm that came through here. I don't trust these weather warfarians one bit. And I just, I, it's the same type of projects and missions that they used to use back in the 60s as well. Back when they were doing all of their nuclear testing and everything out here in Nevada, they would have very large wind turbines and rocket engines on the hills to help steer and direct the wind and the fallout. Okay. So, as their attempts are to control the weather and own the weather and weather as a force multiplier, do you really think that they would not deploy air-based turbines that would help direct the atmospheric river and help steer their balloon projects as well? Yeah, I don't trust them. I'll put clips here at the end of this intro video. It'll be a really long video, but I don't care. I see a pattern, and I just wanted to share that with y'all. That again, because I'm repetitive, I gotta say it again. I see a pattern that repeats itself consistently in this recording, and nature does not repeat itself. I do. I repeat myself, but nature does not repeat itself, folks. It just doesn't. Not like this. not in a consistent, detectable pattern.